We want to have a Burkina Faso that is strong, independent, and stable. That is our goal, and I believe that we share the same vision for this country.
Africa is often portrayed as a continent in need, dependent on foreign aid for survival. But is this narrative helping or haunting Africa's future? Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
At this time, I am listening to the government. I have meetings with specialists and government officials. I listen, I learn, because for the past 15 years, a lot has changed, as you noted. So for the coming months, I will listen. I want to listen to the Burkinabe people too, to know what they want from the United States. How can we support you in this fight for the sustainable development of this beautiful country? According to the Prime Minister, on the other hand, good governance is important when citizens are alive. Good governance applies to living people. Our priority is the fight against terrorism, and after that, other things can follow. So if you can help us in this regard, he noted. Dr. Kelem de Tambela also deplored the lack of sufficient support from the United States in this fight against terrorism. He cited the example of warplanes ordered from Brazil, which operated with parts manufactured under American license, which the United States refused to allow to be delivered. If these devices were usable, we could have saved lives. It is in difficulties that we recognize true friends, he added. Furthermore, the head of government hopes that the new ambassador will help to remove these obstacles to enable Burkina Faso to acquire more resources in the fight against terrorism. During their time of discussion, Ambassador Joanne M. Lockhart also mentioned the construction of clinics, schools, and humanitarian actions. The Prime Minister, while appreciating these contributions, called for support in arms more. He stated that those who attack Burkina Faso come with weapons, and the military must also have weapons to retaliate, he insisted. For him, it is essential to first contain armed attacks, allow citizens to live, and humanitarian actions and development can then follow. There is no construction possible without security. Burkina Faso is seeking stability and is looking for the help that will allow it to achieve this, added the Prime Minister. The two personalities also discussed the issue of governance and ongoing reform projects. Following is the complete speech of the ambassador. Carefully listen to all what she had to say. Today was my first meeting with the Prime Minister since my second arrival here in Burkina Faso. As many of you know, I was here in 2006 to 2009. And I worked a lot in the press and in civil society as a director of the American Cultural Center. I wanted to return here to Burkina Faso because the Burkinabe people touched my heart a lot. I know the spirit of the Burkinabe people, and I know that at that time there were a lot of challenges here in the country. With the Prime Minister, I spoke about the current situation here in the country and how the United States can help and support the Burkinabe people to fight these challenges, especially in the fight against terrorism.
Excellency, you came to Burkina Faso many years ago, and things have changed a lot. Burkina is now facing terrorism, as you mentioned. What can the United States do to help the Burkinabe people?
Yes, it is true that the situation has changed a lot, but the United States has never abandoned the Burkinabe people. At that time, we provided assistance in projects with the civil security forces to fight terrorism at a rate of $16 million a year, and we continued. The United States is also the largest donor of humanitarian aid to the Burkinabe people, who have been really affected by this crisis of terrorism, who are displaced and who unfortunately have lost their family members, or their homes, or their fields. And so the United States, with the other partners of the international community, will stay side by side with the Burkinabe people. At this time, I am listening to the government. I have meetings with specialists and government officials. I listen, I learn, because for the past 15 years, a lot has changed, as you noted. So for the coming months, I will listen. I want to listen to the Burkinabe people too, to know what they want from the United States. How can we support you in this fight for the sustainable development of this beautiful country? The United States is a true friend of the Burkinabe people. We are looking for the same things as you. We want to have a Burkina Faso that is strong, independent, and stable. That is our goal, and I believe that we share the same vision for this country.
Foreign aid has been a cornerstone of Africa's relationship with the world since the end of colonial rule over the decades. Billions of dollars have flown into the continent aimed at addressing poverty, health crises, and infrastructure development. But despite decades of aid, many African nations remain economically dependent and underdeveloped. This raises a critical question: is aid really helping, or is it holding back Africa? Critics argue that foreign aid often creates dependency. Instead of empowering local economies, it undermines them by flooding markets with free or subsidized goods, making it harder for local businesses to compete. Moreover, aid can come with strings attached: political conditions, economic reforms favoring donors, or contracts benefiting foreign corporations. In some cases, it becomes a tool for modern-day colonialism. In many instances, aid fails to reach those who need it most. Corruption and poor governance siphon off funds, leaving communities without the promised support. Instead of building long-term solutions, aid often funds short-term fixes, creating a cycle of dependency without addressing the root causes of poverty. Here is the reality: Africa does not need aid to thrive. The continent is rich in natural resources, boasts a young and dynamic population, and has an entrepreneurial spirit that can drive innovation. From technology to agriculture, Africa has the potential to lead in multiple sectors if it invests in itself rather than relying on external help. By prioritizing self-reliance and leveraging Africa's immense resources, the continent can pave its own path to prosperity. The time has come for Africa to break free from the chain of dependency. Rejecting foreign aid does not mean turning away from global partnerships. It means redefining them on African terms. What do you think, guys? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment box below. Do not forget to like and share this video. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.